So now Vikram, now I just wanted to introduce Vikram was actually the one of the guy who came from army and worked with India's some of the best companies like GE and uh, so many companies. He was from the scratch from startup stage to he made it big around 3-4 thousand employees and also handled even Aptech also he worked. Yeah. Along with our Srikanth Surampudi, both of them they used to work together, and now they made it big. So he's got a lot of experience working with Indian and MNC CEOs also, and got a lot of transformation experience and especially in technology. So I request now Vikram to speak his experiences.
Sir, thank you, Ram, sir. Thank you, sir, for your hospitality, honestly. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Uh, so I'll take one shade from where my friend Deepak spoke. Technology, the success of technology is not about the ROI. I'll give you some practical perspectives of what I've seen, what I've pitched, right? Because as soon as you say return of investment, you have started to already depreciate something, right? Your ability to create a ROI is predominantly driven by the capability of how good your processes are and how those processes have been brought online. The bigger difference that one needs to understand is that there's a difference between automation, which I was telling Vijay, automation, digitization and digitalization. Right? It's not play of English. Simple perspective. Automation is like I have a complex calculation to be done. I use a calculator. That is also automation. Right? I want that calculation to get online and show it to 6 people. That is digitalization. You're digitizing it, right? But if you want digitalization, then you have to go one beyond that. You have to kind of look at it from the perspective of saying, what is my focus point? And in most of HR systems or most of systems that are relevant to us, it is the employee experience that has to be the focus point, right? How does my employee leverage that digitalization? Right? Does it mean that he is able to see his entire life cycle being supported so that he gets more time to focus on his core? Does the business get supported from the way, whether it is a dashboard, whether it is easier processes, more I would say relevant processes and stuff like that, which helps the business do predictive stuff using people, whether it's for delivery or whether it is even as much as retention. Can you do predictive retention? Right? That one part. Then comes the other part of it. How does employee experience drive customer experience? Right? How does that help investor experience? If this connectivity has to be brought in, then there is no ROI. There is return of experience. ROE. Right? It's ROE. Right? And with the ROE comes in a clear dashboard. The dashboard has got 2 parts. I'm not making it very complex. Please ask me questions if I'm not able to.
No, it's good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right? The first part of the dashboard is about saying where are we compared to where we wanted to be. Because at the start of the year, everybody will do a business plan. We will do manpower planning, we will do hiring plan, we will do this plan, we will do that plan. Lot of planning will happen. Right? How have we translated it into the system? For the system to tell you, if I'm losing somebody in one team, forget the fact of whether it's a good attrition, bad attrition. What does that attrition mean? Am I creating a position that I can do succession planning in? Am I having 4 people where I can do career plan and I can say, okay, these are probable people in a particular fit to requirement order who can come in? Do I have people who can mentor them to get there? Do I have the capability of giving them opportunities by virtue of my visible go-to-market strategy? And last but not the least, how do I make it predictable for the person who's there to know what kind of a predictive income will I get? If I want to move from being a team leader to a project manager, I have to do these following courses. I have to work with stalwarts like Ram or Deepak, right? And what will I have to do to be able to get to the threshold competency of the role that I want to? How long will it take? If I am at a particular band and grade, how do I move from that band and grade to the next band and grade? How long will it take? Right? So, I hope you understand, right? It's a very beautifully integrated environment that we need to talk about.
Yes.
Right? Now, with the invent of, like my friend Ram was saying, that with the invent of AI or newer technologies that are coming in, what have we to look forward to? Let's give a quick look to that, right? We moved away from the world where we said, automation meant ATS, a automated, hiring system and generating letters and all that. It's now become like something that everybody should have, right? Then the world came up and said, okay, we'll use AI to do interviews. Then we said, oh, we have conscious, unconscious bias. So how do we kill that? That became one more cycle, right? Then we moved ahead of that and said, okay, if I have to look at 10% growth in the company, where should I concentrate on, right? But with the advent of AI, now things are becoming more easier to look at what data we have collected, accumulated, developed. How do I leverage that data, right? How do I leverage the ability of somebody's want to grow into a predictive income? And who is the leader who will be held accountable to make that happen? Else, the leader is fired. In organizations today, what happens is that the lowest man gets the firing first.
Yes.
Right? Which does not help the organization. Right? What it actually does is only, थोड़ा मसाला डालते हो balance sheet के ऊपर. Investor भी खुश, मैं भी खुश, तू भी खुश types. But the person who is going out will go and get a good job. Right? What have we lost? We lost tacit knowledge. We lost internal processes strength. And so on and so forth. So with AI, what we can look at is, I'm giving a very small example. AI is, how do I look at some of these aspects? And if I evaluate somebody and I say my result has to lead somewhere, then can it be in form of simple things that such as, how is this person compared to my rest of the organization? Who is that comparable? What compensation is that person in? Where should this guy come in at? What kind of his initial learning period will he have? Who can be his mentor? If the system can generate that as a dashboard, then I think we have started to move towards being prepared for AI to come in. Because even if you look at, I have not spoken about AI. I am only saying we need to be prepared to something. See, every transition is required for a business. Otherwise, what happens is business acquires, like Deepak was saying, 30 systems, 25 systems. They are like one mothership, some satellite ship somewhere, and it's a space odyssey afterwards. Right? Nobody knows where they're traveling. So, with what Ram was saying as well as that, for organizations like Cisco, they are loaded. I worked in Cisco, I was the director of Cisco. So, they're loaded, they don't have money problems. You tomorrow go and put a finger on this and say, I want this, they'll say, okay, budget it, approve it, take it, done. What is the benefit of bringing this? Is known only to maybe reporting manager, some finance person somewhere, and okay. The employee who suddenly sees is told, from tomorrow you can't talk to me, you talk to the system. Chatbot, as an example. That fellow, Papam fellow, it doesn't even know. Half the time he picks his phone and he'll say, don't talk to me. You dial 1-800, this thing, you will come to chatbot. That chatbot works only on the processes or the things that has been told. So even if this fellow is saying, I have got stomach pain, he will say, no, you take headache medicine first. Wow. Right? So what is the level of automation then? So if I have to bring in AI, I have to first change that. Right? Okay. I should be able to cognitively understand what does my past look like, what is it that I'm trying to get to, how do I bridge the two. And that's where employee experience is the first critical milestone. Because like all of us understand, our job is not easy. And like my friend told at the start, right? We work with the most complex engines God created, not human being. Right? I work in manufacturing as well, so I'm telling you this. I can do predictability of production from a machine. I can tell you defect rate.
Very difficult.
Can we tell me one thing about another person, sir?
That's a very big problem.
Very big problem. Why? Because he himself is a complex machine. Now you are adding in artificial intelligence into the game.
More complex.
Right? Fun. Why? Because like we were just talking, HR is the last one in the LMS entry. Some training, okay, give some money. HR will do. Doesn't work. If an organization wants to really get into AI and I can go more later on examples with AI, right? But if you have to do, then HR has to be the one who has to first to understand adoption of technology is not equivalent to procurement. Adoption of technology is with respect to a particular area, for us at least, employee engagement. So with this I'll kind of stop, sir, and then I can come back to whenever you want more.
Very insightful and very detailed, and I really thank for your insights, because he was giving multiple scenarios which making us to go there and experience it. Really thank Vikram for your insightful sharing. And would you like to say?
No, nothing much, but just to add to what Vikram is saying, so many times we take this tool and we think it's an automation tool, and we try and put all the old data into the new tool. I mean, what does it do? Unless you look at it as a transformation of the organization, from a transformational standpoint, yeah, this is going to change my organization's color and fabric, or the culture, or the sales process, it doesn't succeed, yeah. People don't see value in that, and most of the time it fails, no, Vikram? Yes. I mean, how many times have HR operations or HR integration not failed? It's not the integrating partner, it is not the HR application. It is because we approached it in that manner, as if we have procured something and we can fix it and plug and play it. इससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला. But the other thing which with AI, when we are talking about AI, and as AI comes in, many things are going to change for sure. AI is getting integrated after automation, after building up everything. You are going to get AI, correct? Because only AI will work only if there is, large language models available, or you have enough data for it to analyze and tell you the decisions for the next step. Correct? It's a decision-making tool. When AI is going to come in, the big change that is going to happen is my employee engagement space going to be taken away by AI? It will be taken away. 100% it will be taken away by AI. So your workforce management will be with AI. Correct? We cannot manage people there. I think AI will manage people. There is going to be another application on passive listening of the organization. AI will listen to you. Today HR is not able to listen to you. AI will know what you are doing in free time. AI will know where you are going, which sites you are going, what you are learning, what you are downloading, what you don't know, for what you are calling, and will give you your training plan, which HR will not be able to do. And passive listening is going to be a big productivity enhancer in the organization. They will know how much time you are productive. They will know how much time you were idle. You know where you suffered. It सब आ जाएगा. It's a matter of 5 to 10 years when you will have all these big size applications coming in, new age applications, I would say. So that's something, and I think the listening is one big thing that I think will happen. And talent marketplace. Now we try and do, we have this whole RMS in technology, where you match skills, you look at who's idle. All this career management is going to be done by AI only. I would think so. And obviously we will have, none of these systems are perfect today. And hence if I was a buyer, I would not even buy them. I'll wait for it to get perfect. Because they're all in the building process. People promise, but it's not really there sometimes. They say, I have everything, but actually if you go and work with it, you will find it is not there. Biggies will implement it, and then it will get perfect in some time, and it will come to us. The skill matching will be done by it. Career planning will be done by it. Collaboration tools will be there. within it. If you want to talk about your career, you talk to the system, and the system will tell you, boss, ये project चल रहा है, यहाँ पे ये है, तुमको join करना है तो as a volunteer you can join here. So your retention problem is also going to be solved through this process. So है तो बहुत potential तो बहुत है sir. It's a matter of how soon it comes in. Somebody will say 5 years, somebody will say, but अभी time आ गया because everything is getting connected. And the moment things are connected in a connected world, which was not there earlier, आज everything is getting connected. So you will have enough data for AI and HR to really add value. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Thank you, Deepak. Deepak also, he actually is sometimes very pessimistic about the technology, sometimes too much optimistic also. Okay, but that is what is.
Yeah, you know, when a human touch issue comes in, then we become pessimistic.
Exactly.
यार, human को कहाँ से निकाल देगा वो? Human touch is something so important, but everybody wants his own space now. Everybody likes isolation.
Correct.
I mean, I am spending 8 hours on my mobile. 8 hours मेरा face time है. क्या करूँगा मैं फिर? किससे बात करने की जरूरत है मुझे?
Reaction कैंप को जाना है.
मेरे वाइफ का 6 घंटा है, मेरा 8 घंटा है. मेरे बच्चे का 16 घंटा रहेगा.
Okay, thank you, Deepak. So let's some of the things I want to share is 2023 is actually during the COVID, people started working on the hybrid mode, and also people a lot of challenges we faced, and one of the key thing has come up is 23 especially leader and manager effectiveness. Actually 60% is one of the 2023 top priority was the 60% making leaders and managers to be very effective. See, most of the times, for the sake of designation, most of the managers and leaders will be there. But if you take a survey, most of them, they are not authentic, adaptive and empathetic leaders. They are not. Originally, why this is coming as a top priority, the COVID has actually made the employees to experience that we don't have empathetic leaders. That's the top priority. So post-COVID, 2022 also, 21, 22 also, the COVID effect was there. Even now people were actually dying or they are severely affected. But that's the first priority 2023 I see. And second is organizational design and change management. So in advent of technology, and AI is also, ChatGPT came now into our lives. So how we should have organization design during this time. So that's why a lot of, for example, which company, maybe one of the leading company, I forgot its name. Not G.
CTS used. CTS also used.
CTS.
Cognizant as well.
Cognizant. But recently that company laid off more than 5 to 10% of their employees just because of AI.
Yeah.
Google was doing. Google was
Paytm,
doing.
Paytm
Paytm also.
Paytm has done.
Paytm actually removed more than 1,000 people because they are saying that they want to go into automate their certain process without people. So people not required. So your design and your architecture, your reporting relationships is going to change a lot. So this change management you have to bring in. So somebody will do unethical, somebody or else. See, this is a challenge. When you want to remove the people, you have to bring a lot of ethical issues of AI. Are you following AI, ethical AI or not? But most of the CEOs or maybe some entrepreneurs, they say that no, for me that's not important. For me the cost, for me the delivery, for me the sales, for me the ROI, as I said. But HR need to undergo, check this one and bring it. So this is the second priority with the 53% of HR leaders who face the challenge of managing employee fatigue and resistance from constant change and uncertainty. Next is employee experience. As I said, are you going to bring the real experience to the employee? For example, previously our this one means employee engagement means birthdays, candles, this carols, this dance gigs, but wo chale gaya. So now you have to see extended family also is connecting to your organization. For example, not only my birthday, even family also, people who are there 5 to 10 years, they were sacrificing their family. But are you going to touch them? Are you going to really make them? For example, are you going to really give them a full experience? For example, the top performer for last 3 years. So send them to a Goa trip or Asia Pacific trip and make them to feel happy. And when they go all together, na, with a company trip. So don't give bonus. Sometimes giving bonus is also not required. Okay, because, picture hai na. So giving bonus is also not required. So what actually we can do that, that's where we can bring a lot of experience like that. So this is where you are going to see a lot of credibility and capability comes in HR ka. Next is future of work. So employee experience is at 49%. Okay. Then recruiting and talent acquisition is, this is a 42% of HR leaders who need to adapt the changing experiences, expectation, preference of the workforce, such as flexibility, diversity, inclusion, and career development. So as you know that previously, for 10,000 people, if you want to run, for example, I'm a retail company, I want to recruit 1,000. I'm opening 10 shops. Each shop required around 50, 10. So this now technology enables you to do within a 2-3 days. You can call them. So first level screening technology will do. So AI will do. AI also will conduct the first level. I'm not saying manager level interview, not HR level interview. At least the first level interview, screen the 10,000 people. You can give the CVs all the from the talent warehouse. I have a product called Credo Hire, Zappy Hire, and Hirex.ai. So a lot of technology companies are there. So they use AI and they actually conduct interview. They record the interview. They will provide the specific that manager also. Wow. For example, I have a retail shop in this AS Rao Nagar and ECL and Malkajgiri, blah blah blah, 10 places. So for 10 people, it will go directly. One will not go to other. So AI will design. So humans may do some errors, but AI. But what is actually very important is, after taking this help, first level, second level, third level onwards, the real managers, business managers, line managers is going to come, and HR also going to involve, and they conduct real behavioral interview and they select them. So this is fourth important. The next one, last priority is diversity, inclusion, and future of work. Future of work, how it is going to change. This is the fifth priority. 41% HR leaders who have preparation for impact of automation, digitization, hybrid work modes on skills, roles, and structures of their organizations. So now AI is coming. What is the skill I need to develop to work with the machines? For example, I have an intelligent virtual assistant like Alexa, Google Assistant, all those things. Have you ever are you conducting a practical training program how to use them to the benefit of organization? Most of them we are using for our own individual purpose, not the professional purpose. You need to train the people and them to do individual work also. Are you doing ChatGPT training for the people who are actually interested to create some content management, some concept, or do some programming also? Today, by using ChatGPT, you can do 50 to 60% programming also. Basic programming comes, and after that, you can the program manager and the programmer can sit together and they can do another 30-40% in the next. So the reductions also going on. So a lot of things are changing, and a lot of these things are going to make a lot of difference to us. So are you skilling the people or killing the people? Killing them means sending out. Are you skilling? So if you don't skill the people, you are going to kill the people. Means you will ask the people to leave the organization. So it's the advent of the AI, generative AI should give us chance to skilling the people is very important. And people are also going to work with the collaborative robots. Collaborative robots means what? So these days now, we can instruct the robot. For example, you are in manufacturing unit or a logistic hub. So we can't actually lift 60-70 kgs because we are human beings. But robot can do that. Okay. Exoskeleton robots, they can even lift even 100 kgs, 200 kgs also. So these are but for that, who should give instruction? Human beings only. Okay. So this change also we should able to understand and we should able to instruct them. That's a very, very important. So this is the fifth priority which I am thinking that we have to develop the skill. The second is trends are HR software system, as Deepak and himself telling that keep employee experience as the core, but at the same time employee experience If you are just thrilling them, but your organization is failing in business, means there is no meaning. As I said, your employee experience should improve your customer experience. Customer experience should give the business results, not just businesses, outstanding business results. Investors should feel that अरे भाई मेरा ROI आ रहा है. Not only, but at the same time, people are engaged, customers are engaged. My also there. I am also doing some CSR. I am also becoming a great place to work. I am also actually doing some of the best things that's possible. So these are as said, but I was little differ with the Deepak in one way that you can't wait for 10 years to come a full-fledged system. It's because, for example, today I'm thirsty. I can't say that here some natural water is available. After 10-20 kilometers or 50 kilometers, there is a Bisleri is available. But now I need to drink, otherwise I'll die. So you need to, as they said, maybe certain organizations will wait, but definitely they are going to have negative impact on the organization. They will become manual. They can't actually do some predict. I know the companies, infrastructure companies, where they were actually 10 years back also they were doing Fox Pro and they are calculating their salaries. But today, I know the one company where I worked, I finalized a technology. Still, my job role was divided into 3 people. One guy takes care of learning and development, one guy takes care of compliances, one guy takes care of PMS and technology implementation. 3 of them could not do because of mindset. Both mindset of the management, mindset of the HR leaders also. Otherwise, so sometimes the challenge with the HR technology implement partners also, they don't have subject matter expert. They made good technology, but they can't actually know, they didn't understand his expectation, they didn't understand his expectation, and they are not able to implement. So these are the challenges we are going to already experience in 2023. I was attending other day SAP Axle program where Mr. Ishwar also there along with me. And along with me, around 18 product, Mr. Raghavendra was actually, we were discussing and doing a lot of product development, and I was actually part of around 9 products today. I was actually either product innovator or a subject matter expert or a strategist. Okay, I am actually trying to involve. So these things are changing. Now we have to just adapt it. Are you going to adapt ChatGPT 3.5 or 4 that is your, based on the money that you have. But you have to adapt it. If you don't adapt it, you can't update yourself, and you are going to perform or perish kind of situation today. If you perform is okay, otherwise you are going to perish. Okay. For example, तुम्हारा कार तुम्हारा अभी ये सीजन में, विंटर सीजन में 2-3 महीने ऐसे यूज मत करो. It will not start after 2-3 months. Same thing here also. If you don't use any technology now, we are going to be outdated. So HR also, are by new generation also will be their organization. Old generation, we are, as you know that HR will experience all the 3-4 generations. But what the people think about young generation guys about us is, अरे भाई ये लोगों बुढ़ा हो गया, उसको मालूम नहीं है. These people can't bring the change, the transformation. So better don't stay here and move out. So I know there are many companies where the people struggle to keep up the young talent, but young people wanted challenge. They want experience. They don't want वो सैलरी नहीं चाहिए. वो लोगों को 50% सैलरी देने तो भी हुए, बाकी 50% तुमको उन लोगों को बहुत बड़ा एक्सपीरियंस देना है. So that's a very important in today's situation. And 2023 really actually the AI is going to going to help us to give the personalized experience. For example, here where the 15 employees there, for example, okay, I am the HR manager. So I know this guy actually likes going weekend movie, weekend shopping. That guy actually likes ice creams and cakes. This guy likes XYZ. So in the process, over a period, you are going to know, you are going to personalize the experience you are going to. Then, these people are they are meeting my expectation. So he does, next week आके और थोड़ा काम करते हैं. So AI, and this is driven by AI. I'm not HR. But only we have to read, HR should read and develop R&R, reward and recognition system like that. And these are the few changes have come in during the last 1 year. And very important is AI and ML you have to implement. 2023 people started implement. No, there is no now going back. And HR, in fact, HR was the lowest adapted according to me. All businesses, all sales guys, they are extremely well. They are using this one. Still, we are discussing, and most of the 5-star hotels we are not implementing, but we should implement. Next is cloud computing and mobile application. Okay, so once upon a time, if you want to apply, so for example, some Salesforce guy, pharma company में, वो sales guy is there. He is supposed to go to a doctor. We don't have previously tracking system, but today geo tagging will help us. Okay, वो डॉक्टर के पास गया क्या, उधर half an hour, 1 hour sat, and whether he has actually sold it today or given some perspective of the new product or not, that your technology, HR will not do that. Individually, I can't handle that. So, but your AI system, your geotagging system, your attendance system, your system can handle it. So, update it. That's also very, very important. So, and then you mentor and coach him. Don't try to be negative side. Try to be positive side. Your technology, what you are not capable of doing, it's doing true. So, पूछो, I evening call करके, अरे भाई तुम ये डॉक्टर पास के गया था, he is one of the best prescriber for our product. आज कितना बिजनेस दिया था और नेक्स्ट 1 month में कितना बोल रहा है. So try to discuss that. See, but our reactive sales guys what they say, तुम पागल आदमी है, उधर 1 घंटा बैठा था, तुम कुछ धंधा नहीं किया था, तुम पागल जैसा बात करके आ गया. So don't do this kind of thing. So lot of mentoring and coaching is required now. So HR need to spend along with leaders and managers lot of, make them to become good mentors and coaches. This really gives us beyond to technology. Technology anyway we are going to experience whether we like it or not. So this human touch, high-tech touch we need to bring in. That's a very, very important. And that's what I feel these are the changes have come in 2023. And 2024 is going to be much more bigger canvas, much more this one. I know when Mukesh Ambani used to see his paper, he used to only believe in paper. He never believed in technology. But today, I was in one of the project called HR 2.0. HR 2.0, which started in 2008. I am the first one of the person from HR nominated for the technology transformation. When he was telling that 25 billion we should become 100 billion, we were laughing. अरे यार भाई पागल हो गया भाई, हमको काम नहीं है. Because I used to work 14 to 16 hours those days. 14 to 16 hours I used to work. And our life used to become not measurable. It's a completely miserable. Completely miserable. अरे क्या है, कब से ये रिलायंस से जाना बोल के सोचता था. And in fact I left. वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस के लिए एक स्ट्रैटेजी प्रोजेक्ट किया था. And slowly brought some balance, not still imbalance, the organization. He came and I moved on. But what I want to say is, very, very important is, today the same organization believes complete digital system. Mukesh Ambani only sees the number and digital system. वो कितना बड़ा वाल रहेगा मालूम, उधर से उधर तक वाल रहेगा, उतना बड़ा वाल रहेगा. He actually sees like cinema. How he sees the cinema? He gets everything every week. Is both son Akash himself actually sees जो कितना है, कितना मैन पावर है, कितना सेल्स हो रहा है, कितना attrition है, कितना finance आया था, पैसा आया था. So gone those days now. Who is also believing that the physical paper only will do it? They are replacing with the machines and technology. So we have to get into the technology. No way. So for example, 10 साल पहले हम लोग क्या कर रहा था, ये नई उन्नति भी चलता हमारा, बड़ा भी चलता है क्या? Literally, I will ask you to keep your phone 1 day, 2 days away. You will become jittery. Okay, अरे भाई ये पागल हो गया क्या रामचंद्र को, ऐसे बोलते हैं. So same thing is happening. So we can't actually keep away. And our own friend told me that he is spending 8 hours. If I ask him to come for 4 hours, he will actually speak very hard. So very difficult. मैं इससे हम दोनों को रोज ऐसा ही डिस्कशन होता है. अरे भाई तुम इतना टाइम क्यों स्पेंड करता है, इतना टाइम. I will also spend, but I decently spend, not so much of time. Though I work with the technology companies as a technology and product innovator, I try to spend only innovative part but not experience part. Let the experience can come from the CEOs and HRs and others. Okay. So this is what these are 23 experiences. Yes, 24 is going to, I feel, I'll tell you one thing I want to tell you, which recently I heard in Pune, where my Venkatesh and Raghavendra also did that. Till 2000, 1900 to 2000, it's 100 years of innovation happening. Every year incremental. From 2000 to 10, another 100 years of innovation happened. But 2010 to now 23, 1000 years of innovation happened. You need to understand. Why? So much change, so much life, so much busy, so much stress. And also, life also changed. Previously, it's like black and white. Between 1900 to 2000, हम ब्रिटिश लोगों को भगा दिया, थोड़ा स्वातंत्र आ गया. We are also enjoying life and but अभी तुम देख ले तो जब when Mr. Chandrababu Naidu taken over Hyderabad, okay, sir, what was the acre per acre here the value 2000
That time Chandrababu Naidu.
or maybe before that 1900.
Yeah, that time acre and city, nearby city, around 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs. Okay.
Sir, today, sir?
Today, same, today that you can compare 2.5 crores nearby Gatkesar and all. So, land availability also is very less, sir. Expansion is going on. So, that is what.
So, same thing, the value, that's what I'm saying. Why that has become 2.5 lakhs, 20 lakhs became 2.5 crores. 2.5 to 3 crores. And here the land maybe is a 2 lakhs, maybe that 25 years back. Here 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs.
Yes.
And today it's a more than 2 to 3 crores.
2 crores.
So if you see the same thing, dramatic change has come in the technology also, innovation also, especially innovation, because more people are educated and luckily we are ahead. India is ahead of the most of the innovation cycle. NPCI, digital innovation, a lot of government of India is the biggest spender across the world. It's not the Google of the world, Microsoft of the world. Most of the people they miss this concept. Microsoft is great. No, Microsoft also वो आके मोदी के साथ बैठना है भाई क्या चेंज करना है तुमको पूछना है बस. Their job is to only ask and do that. Microsoft also. They were doing incremental changes and they are trying to bring products and services. But best experience is given by, for example, today our UPI. Our small pan wala and even fruit vendor also is having that digital. Okay, you go Singapore, you go Hong Kong, you go even America, you don't have this kind of technology. I'm telling you. So you are actually in advent of the new technology. At the same time, you can see tomorrow, for example, if you buy a plot here, you can see through satellite also. Servers actually is going to give us. So that chance also. You are buying, for example, Prakasham district, you can see satellites, whether somebody is occupied your plot or not.
Anywhere in the world. you can
Anywhere
see.
in the world. So why
Wherever
I am
you
saying
go.
this innovation, is it possible 20 years, 30 years back? So that's what I am saying. 1000 times innovation is happening. 1000 times innovation. I am talking by in terms of practicality, in terms of real things. So let's understand this innovation. See, only we have two choices. Either perform with the technology or perish with the nature. Nature, those who do not perform, they will actually perish with the nature. Okay. As I said, even if it is an automatic, even car also, everything also, don't use 2 months. So उसके बाद हम आके चाबी डालने तो भी तुमको बैटरी खत्म हो जाता है, तुम लेके आना है और एक. Same thing is happening. So with this I here stop and final remarks, anything from Deepak and
So I want to talk about. I want to give a little bit of perspective from what. So when I spoke last, I spoke about the context to be set up, right? I just want us to play a small mind game, right, in terms of AI. When you joined an organization, there was a paper method in those days. Then it became Excel. Now maybe online HTML pages come to you. You do your online, right? But what if you were interacting with someone who becomes your personal assistant? So in earlier days, we used to have this executive assistant and personal assistant and secretary and all that stuff. But I think with the advent of AI, there is an opportunity to have personalized services. And we say personalized services, it is about understanding the process. It's about understanding the variances of the user of the process, the business imperatives and the business drivers for that process, and last but not the least, what is the minimum expected and what is the variance of expectations. So let's take an example that we all drive vehicles, right? There was a time when if you went to Premier Padmini factory in Kalina in Bombay, you would see, they were running 4 shifts. So there would be a batch of people who would be coming in and a batch of people who would be going out around the same time. And what were they doing? Right from beating a metal into a particular car shape, into designing the engine, the assembly and the test and the rollout, everything was manual, right? Then slowly mechanized components came, slowly robotics came in. But now let's look at it a little more in terms of how AI with that same. So let's go to a plant which is very close by in Mahindra and Mahindra, right? Automotive, in a place called Chakan, which is close to Pune. You will see robotized people who are assembling. Now they brought in AI. Now with the AI, what has happened? On the same production unit, I can generate export defined vehicle and a domestic market vehicle, one after another. Earlier, what used to happen? There used to be like a batch. Because why? In the export vehicle, the steering would go to the left. In the domestic, the steering still remains in the right. Right? So that much of a change for a machine, for a human and a machine, happening on the same production line. At the same time, whether it is, Mahindra, for example, if I say XUV 700, which is right now the hottest in the market, right? From a sheet of metal that goes into the system to a completely made vehicle, 14 minutes it takes, right? How did that happen? From welding to check to paint, everything is completely. But like Ram was saying, it won't work on its own. It works with a man behind it. Yes. Right? And the man behind it also kind of has to look into the system, not because it has to control the system, but it has to kind of do a predictive workout with the system. For example, if he's got say 15 vehicles that has to be only domestic, he has to ensure that the system understands 15 domestic. And then the 16th one has to be export. The coloring of the vehicles are also already configured. They know that this car has to be a white, this has to be a red, this has to be a blue. There can be no mistakes because imagine an environment where there is no man. The machine just picks up, it goes on a guided rail, right? And it goes into a dip tank. When the primer is put and dried, it's dried by the time it's pulled out. When it goes into the painting yarn, which is like a closed bracket, there are robot arms that will come and spray paint. Now, if you wanted a red car and there was no man there, the machine would only look at what is the input there. It's red, spray red. Which is blue, blue. So, somewhere down the line, I'm trying to make it very simple to kind of trivialize this, right? But if I look at it from let's look at our world, from a manufacturing to a more a people world, right? You join an organization and you get a PA. So someone says, hi, Vikram, congratulations for joining us. We look forward to you joining us. We know that you're going to be joining in this area. These are some of the success stories that you may want to know. These are some of the guys that are in this organization who could be a good peer for you. Now what's happening is because the AI has been designed to ensure it goes back to the database. It checks for people with certain competencies, certain performance evaluations. It goes into pulling out collaterals which can be provided and then intelligently starts providing it to you. So if it sends you something that you already read, let's assume that they send you a success story, like I was telling you of say Mahindra and Mahindra, and it sends you that and you say, oh, I already read this. Now you don't know you're dealing with whom. You're only dealing with a person. Like it could be, Sham, for example. So you're saying hi Sham and putting it. It could be just actually a AI robot, right? So it will tell you that, okay, if you've read this, then I'm sure you would have known these are the 3 things. It will summarize for you. It will tell you these are the 3 important things you may want to remember because the next article I'm sending, you may want to apply that knowledge. So what am I doing? I'm basically using that
to create an initial performance contract for the person before the person can join. Which leads me to say that I can use my AI from induction, orientation, onboarding experience into an accelerated assimilation. And I can create a predictability based on the profile, based on the assessments that have happened through the whole cycle, based on the interactions that I've done through the offer to join process, of where would this person be able to be successful and with what kind of a background. So if I have say ABCD are my hiring parameters in the lodge, A being the best, B being the donkey or the worst, it will tell you where is that person. And it can also tell the person that we are looking at you to move from this to this level in the next X months, because there's a business that's coming in. Would you be able to do these things? And that becomes the initial performance contract. Now, I have not spoken about humans, right? I've only spoken about the system, machine, and the AI playing a part. What was the HR person doing? Right? I mean, like you said, people, there are organizations that are very short-sighted. I worked in GE, and I'll be blunt with you, we were very short-sighted in GE also. We had this very clear rule, bottom 10% has to go. Like it or not, it was like one axe, dham, cut, 10% gone. The point was, in that 10% is first rank. It is not necessary in every business unit you will have least exposed 10 is bad. Right? And then again we'll realize that, oh, I need people. So what will happen after some time, this fellow will go to ABCD company and you'll again get come and hire. And GE will say, oh, I have rehired. He put one more advertisement. 10% of my people are rehired. I'm such a great employer. What they don't realize is the cost in the behind. Environment where AI is used, it does not allow that to happen. Why? It's because it consistently keeps telling, why can't you use this person in this place, in that place? So you don't fire in the first instance. Second instance, if you have moved a person out, you will have to create a EVA, employee value addition, or a proposition, EVP, to ensure that person can be rehired. Otherwise, you know your retention is going to be a bad story. Right? Now, having said that, the last bit of it, right, is how do you ensure that when all this is happening, the HR is getting time to focus on what is the employee experience part of it. Some part of it could be in terms of monitoring these systems that are using AI, defining, redefining, it's called parameterization, right? Ram has done some work, I've done some work in AI, and we are all elbowed, huh? Please don't look at us as if we know everything. I'm sorry, I can say for myself, Ram is an expert probably. I'm still an elbowed, okay? So given that, parameterization you need to fine tune. Because if you are able to do that, the system performs that much better, right? And my team, I don't chuck them out. Instead, I start leveraging them for more people touch.
High tech and high touch.
Exactly. You have got a high tech from the system, now high touch. And last but not the least, you are able to come up with a lot more time to avoid crises because you are talking to people on a more concurrent basis. The system will help you schedule a one-on-one, for example. It has identified that during the time your anniversary comes, your wife will ask, I want one gold ring. You will say, sir, my salary is only so much. Then I leave you and go. That fellow will come and say, sir, please give me an increment. I have to give my wife for anniversary. So the system would have understood. 2 times in life he has threatened to go. So before that only, he tell the manager, if you want to do an off cycle, please do it for him. Before he comes to you the 3rd time and says, I want to resign. I mean, kind of thing. So I'm going to, I think I've taken a long time, but just to give you a basic perspective of
a lot of anecdotes.
But
So now
just a
I
point,
want.
if I can add, Ram, in this. I mean, lot of it is imaginary, and lot of this is reality. Okay, or this is the way the world is going to shape. If not today, tomorrow. Yeah. But I keep wondering, all this is experience, and we all know that at some point in time the hygiene theory catches up. Correct. So what becomes automated or AI driven will also become an hygiene.
Yes.
Correct. This is mandatory. It becomes an even playing field because everybody, as you say, people can copy technology like anything. You spend money, you get technology. But can you bring culture? This is a very old saying. You cannot copy cultures, but you can copy technology.
Yes, correct.
So if everybody is in the same playing field, it all becomes very mechanical and it becomes hygiene in that sense. You know, I like it to an extent, but then after that I take it for granted. He has to give me increment if I have resigned twice. Very imaginary, but let's say. The point is, this also reduces workforce. So when you think that you will have time, you will also have less people because automation would have forced you to reduce people also. So you may not necessarily have that many people and that many hours at hand. Your role will expand. So you could have a
Role
vertical
depth,
expansion role and things like
Deepak,
that.
role depth and the
Width
new
of the role
opportunities.
also.
And new
New
opportunities.
opportunity. So the point I'm trying to make, the employee value proposition creation, no AI can do. Value proposition as to why somebody should join you is not an hygiene issue. That has to be done with your heart and with your soul and with your mind and with your strategy, which AIs will not be able to do. Value proposition का क्या करेंगे is what HR needs to think of. To be more competitive than somebody else, you need a better employee value proposition. As far AI is, I don't think AIs can really come in. Maybe it will.
Deepak,
That
the
is
thing is
where-
that parameterization nowadays is becoming that much more stronger. Because you keep reading science, you keep reading what is the
No, I'm just a
results
thought.
of
I
that,
mean, you
what
can-
comes in.
No, what I'm just
Right,
saying
so
is,
you keep
we are not arguing on it. I know what
I'm
is.
not arguing, but I'm just saying that you know, the context
the
is
second-
such that you will be able to do a lot more stuff which you, like you said correctly. Hygiene becomes then something that the system will start doing. So you define a new hygiene. So it's like like you said, HR1, HR2, HR3.
Correct.
We'll have
That
to
is
progress
an area
along with it.
where I think as practically HR guys have to start wondering whether, well, this will get taken over. This area is something that will need your heart and soul all through. How do I create that value proposition for my employees? How do I create that culture for my employees? This is going to be different. It's a very important space to start working more seriously as human beings.
Yeah. Culture is one thing which AI will not be able to touch. Trust me.
The third thing that comes to mind is, you know, we think we are growing very fast and we are becoming very technology savvy. There are people who don't have CVs. There is a whole community of people who are technicians, who can become your operators, who can do your manual work, which is required for industry. Today you need drivers, today you need...
No,
you know,
that can be captured by the technology.
No.
technology is
There is technology. There will be technology. But what if it is not there and you're not in that space? It is an imperfect world and imperfect country. As human beings, as HR managers, we have to wonder there is a space there.
No, today ऐसा नहीं है. There is a no. There is a,
Listen, my point
today
is
what
not-
I am saying
you can
is,
do everything. You can
Deepak.
have-
Today there is no human, at least Indian citizen who don't have Aadhaar.
Please, Aadhaar cannot be compared with a CV.
No, I am saying
I'm
if it
talking
all,
about a category which is deep down there, which does not even have this access. And if you need them to train them and bring them on board, how many of HR guys are capable of doing that? Which technology is helping you?
No.
I'll tell you.
No
Deepak,
technology helping you
I'll
there.
just take 1
helping
minute.
you.
I'll just
I'll
1
tell you.
minute.
I give you 10 sites where driver के लिए तुमको CV नहीं चाहिए, but they are
तुमको
available
नहीं चाहिए,
driver.
तुमको credit-
No,
तुमको-
driver plus बोल के एक site रहता है. For every technician there is a sites where the people are available, their phones are available. You can reach. You can do. See, maybe not as CV like you. We are white collar.
I'm not, no, you're
Blue
not
collar
getting
is
the point.
different.
The point I'm trying to make is there is an eliminated group which technology is not touching, which may not touch at any point in time. There will be that group. When you need factory operators, you know, you will not go and get them on your LinkedIn's.
So we are not going to.
You're not going to get them.
But there are contractors who can go and bring hundred thousands of people.
you'll have to work
Because
with
I worked in more
You have to
than
work with
10 organizations, all of them.
Contract
I
management.
never handled it. 30,000 workforce को वो लोगों 3-4 दिन में लेकर आया था. Whereas 300 people मुझे देखा था 1 year. So that's possible, quite. That's not a big science according to me. That's not a big thing according to me. It's very easy. For example, PowerMake projects में I used to handle 15,000, 30 to 40,000 people is the contract
मैं बता
workforce.
रहा हूँ ना, हम भी क्या ना 15 हजार लोग का टीम बनाया. How much touch you had with them? Zero.
That's okay.
Contact management, what touch you had? Zero. If they go, if the contact is gone, you're gone. You don't know where you're standing.
Yeah.
Technology is not helping you in that area.
No, we
this
have,
is in another area.
Yeah,
which
one
is,
I'll
has
tell
a
you.
vacuum.
When you are in contract labor management also, you should automize.
Yeah.
I have done it. I have
That's
done
a
it.
big space
I
there.
have done it. I am telling you, I have done it. And there is a one labor works is the one technology which I have implemented in the Orient Cement, which has actually reduced our 2,800 workforce to 1,800 subsequently. So because there is a overlap of the regular
Beyond
employee,
that, content management
and,
is much beyond.
and also
beyond that, yeah.
we used to give a lot of R&R to them, a lot of even best employee award to them. So like that we have engaged them, and that's how the things come. So it's again we have to re-engineer the scope and we have to define. These are the challenges, transactional challenges everywhere. But these are not the transformational challenges. These are the very transactional, menial and minimum challenges will be there. But there we should allocate recently good people. For example, in my plant, I used to have 23 people. Around 12 people used to take only contract work. But whereas in some BPO, contract work को देखने के लिए एक बंदा भी नहीं रहता. Only it's a contract manager who does it. So it depends upon the organization, design and the delivery. Very important. We need to understand. So any questions and your thoughts also? Vijay, your thoughts.
No, very interesting, sir. I think you have gone through a very interesting session on, initially it was something on organizational design, rethinking the organizational design, and rethinking the role design of the HR people. What is the role going to be going forward like that? In fact, it can be, I think it will become more clear as we go ahead in the next future. And then you are speaking a lot of things on the skills which people have, but which people need to develop down the line. Like, co-working with the robots, or a lot of putting AI into work as a friend. Not working with human beings, but working with technologies basically. And the third, you spoke very interesting thing on the employee experience. So that's very, very important. Only one, sir, Major Sir spoke about the, learnability. That is very, very important. Like Sir Deepak Sir told about all this, we can bring a lot of technologies and we can buy it. But will the people learn and use it in their day-to-day life? That is a very big thing. I think even 10% of what the organizations have, 90% is not implemented or used by the employees. One might be lack of awareness, second thing lack of guidance or something like that. Maybe so that was one aspect. However, in India, one thing we find is that India has many segments of organizations. What we are speaking today might be for the top tier 1 or tier 2 organizations. But like Deepak sir and Manju sir spoke, there are also many companies which are SMEs and all, which don't have any clue what is this AI all about also. Maybe what we are saying, out of the 100%, maybe we are talking top 10% or 20%. In that 20% also, only 2% might be really implementing in depth by letter and spirit. 18% might be speaking just like that. So anything you have got, sir, for the 80%, like you got that principle you are speaking now, 20-80 principle, so, Pareto. So can you give something for the less fortunate people, that who is the 80% like MSMEs or what you call. Now MSA has become very big. Earlier time it was up to some level. Now I think they have included almost 90% of every organizations are MSME like that. So do you have anything like that also?
Sure. Yeah, we can actually see, for example, if you ask me, now there are HR technologies coming in where even some of the technologies there, for example, 30 employees you have, they are ready to give free of cost. There are some technologies are there, and as long as you are going to use, but once you go beyond 50, 100, they are going to charge. So that's available, that's quite possible, that kind of technology is also there. So that's a MSME sector also. And today, a big opportunity for HR experienced person like me is there is a HR mass. HR managed as a shared service. For example, I'll take Ishwar, he is a HR BP. He can manage 4 or 5 companies of mine, because one HR guy can make, actually along with the 2 assistants, he can manage around 2,000 to 3,000 people. Okay. So for them, you can give all the experiences that you are looking for. And they need not to be the full-time job employee. I'll collectively manage 10 companies, SMEs, but still I'll deliver the better experience as good as multinational. I can give the insurance, I can give a good salary and everything, because those are specialists in their area. Because MSCMEs are most of the day, they're the special product manufacturers kind of thing. Okay, so we can give that experience, but provided that is now becoming part of regular business. Slowly it's becoming.
Sir, going forward, how
Can I add one small point? Let's take a thing. You're talking of still MSME. I'm taking one step beyond that. Farmers. Right? 70% of our 67% of our India production is still agrarian, right? What do you do with farmers? Farmers have been used to what is called flood irrigation. Then came drip irrigation, right? I can show you a set of farmers in Vidarbha district as well as Jalgaon district who are using drone-based precision agriculture. And this is not in like one small land. This is hectares on hectares. Trying to use technology to grow 4 crops in a year, where they have a supply chain understanding with Frito-Lays, for example, which makes chips and all that, to get their produce, get assured sales price, and how is it that they're happening? They're all using varied levels of technology. There is a consolidator like Jain group of companies who do some part of this. There is an Israeli-based company called Nandi. They take care of some of it. How did this all come about? This came about only when, like Ram was saying also, is that somebody felt the need, right? And there are systems that is not being charged. The farmer doesn't have to pay, right?
We are just going beyond ourselves.
No, but I'm just saying, technology in perspective.
No, the technology
At the
is not
grassroots level, he's getting that, and he's getting the benefit of predictive. So if there's rains going to happen or not happen, he will get to know.
What he's trying to say is, I mean, obviously that's a great example because change is happening and people are progressing incrementally or exponentially. People are progressing, but he has a very valid point that when you're working with MSME, SME, and small scale, not even small 100 crores, 200 crores companies, for example, the challenge is huge for an HR guy to be able to become part of the aspiration of the organization, to bring HR in that fold and saying if HR will grow, then we will grow.
No, that can't happen ever.
No.
If
Point I'm
business
making
grows,
is-
HR grows.
No, the point I'm making is,
Sir, even business grows also, HR will not grow. This is my experience.
either ways you look at it. See, it's a chicken and egg. Okay, let's take it as a chicken and egg. Easy, let's take it as a chicken and egg. HR grows, business grows, HR grows. This discussion is okay. But the point is, can I really convince him that if I'm able to connect you with HR with the aspiration of growth, that's the biggest challenge. Because one day he is a Naran Murthy, second day he becomes a Lala, third day he becomes a Tata. So he also keeps moving every day because for him what is important is आज क्या problem है और फिर आराम से सोचेगा why am I not growing, why did people leave me, फिर मेरा culture किधर जा रहा है. He has all these problems at hand and every day he thinks differently.
No, what you are saying is very correct. But
No,
who is
so
going
as
to
a-
bell the cat?
No, and this
So
is belly.
what he was telling that there is a problem is going to be there. Problem is an opportunity for everybody. According to me, if Vijay Vedantam is saying that there is a huge problem of technology in SME, it's an opportunity. For me, a optimist person like me is it's a HR mass business. I can go and turn it around, take it and do it. That's all. No pessimism, no cranky. According to me, only thing is we have to reach out the people, make them to aware about it. It's education again. As I said,
Yeah.
he was giving an example. Our own Maharashtra people is able to do Israeli technologies. Why can't we do? तेलंगाना के लिए आने के लिए थोड़ा टाइम लगता है भाई. तेलंगाना लोगों को खाना पीना ज़्यादा चाहिए. कोई they forget about it. If they focus on it, they will also get it.
No, you
Okay.
forgot our movies. We like movies too.
That movies too. That's a different thing. So with the yes, SME as you said is going to be the focus, and they are going to be the 70% of economy. They are actually the real drivers of the economy. I accept it, but somewhere we have to reach out. They should also reach back. It's again giving and receiving. The ending is actually little weak, as you said, but you are there in HMA, you are there in FTCCI. How many SME company people, HR guys comes and really learns? For them only job is payroll run कर रहा है क्या? Okay, and उसके बाद घर जा रहा है क्या? How many is interested to
And
lend?
that's why I was telling you, HR role in SME is far more difficult than in an organization.
That's what I'm saying.
Far more difficult.
Not farmer, bhai, useless है. According to me,
वही बोल रहा हूँ.
they think that most of the entrepreneurs think that HR is a slave farmer.
No, so moving him from that to that HR is an important element for your transformation aspiration is where the HR mantra lies in. in that company.
I don't
then
think
this 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 60 rupees for that guy and bringing an HRIS and bringing other technologies will flow. Unless you convince him on that area, he will never flow easily. When will he put budgets into it? When he associates HR with his transformation. And for that you need convincing. With SMEs, HR possibly may not have because of quality, but the challenge is there. Not that the guy doesn't want to do it, yeah. He also wants to grow big. But somebody has to convince him, and you need a quality of HR to be able to do that sometimes.
So, two, three things I would submit since I come from a non-HR background. One thing is the aspirations of the SMEs also is very, very strong. In fact, their aspirations are more than the bigger companies.
Yeah, they want to become 10,000 crores.
They also want to grow like that. So they also are now talking about strategy and structure and culture and succession planning. So some changes are occurring in the MSMEs also. There where they talk about what is strategy we are going to follow. So for example, and one more. So on one hand, they're talking about strategy, they're talking about structure, how they'll divide it, what are the core and what are the only owners will know information, other information that all company will know for the good of the organization. And like some give and take with the higher authorities, that only the owner will know. None of these juniors will know. Juniors will think they did some marketing and they got the business. But so the strategy, structure and culture is one segment, but the other aspect we are finding is the culture aspect, which is very, very difficult to break. But one aspect we have found is that with the change in the business world, with technologies coming, one segment we found very strong is the defense segment, for example. There are defense people, they are not asking, that SMEs are no longer talking about 30 rupees, 50 rupees. Because olden times, those fellows used to come to me, I do a lot of funding, 30 crores, 40 crores, that is a very big order for them. Today they are having 300 crores, 400 crores, that type of things. But the parent company in the foreign country, they're saying, okay, I'm giving you a technology as per your offset purchase in the defense space, but please follow these traceability norms, please follow this culture. I want your people to be equipped to do the job at hand.
Yeah, not capability building.
Capability building. They're asking a lot of things. Then you should also bring your people to that level that they can do the work, because even the one not make mistakes in that Sukhoi aircraft, that there may be issue like that. Example.
True.
And then they also want to bring in discipline, not like olden times where coming and relax, okay, paid some money and go on home. Now they are saying we'll also pay money because profits are very good. In defense, once the technology is approved, it will take maybe very high gestation period, might be 4 or 5 years. But once it comes approved, next 5-10 years, that fellow don't have to bother also like that. So defense is one segment we find requires a lot of intervention basically, because aspirations of promoters are very high. They also want to grow, but somebody has to sit down there.
As he said,
like one bridge, no? Like Major sir, he's a bridge between that part and this part. And second aspect, sir.
Would you like to speak?
Last thing, sir.
I would like to tell about that AI coming and AI is going to